Welcome to HKB, I'm Leon.
I'm Shaz, and this is the movie channel where we go to Hong Kong and beyond.
So today we have a very important question to ask. And that question is, which Kung Fu movie is the greatest weapons movie of all time? Now we've narrowed it down to two. The two that are the most talked about in this particular subgenre, which is the legendary weapons of China and the odd couple. So for our verdict, stay tuned folks, because you might be interested to hear what we have to say when it comes to legendary weapons of China versus the odd couple. So this video, we decided we'd do this a long time ago. In fact, we decided as far back as the Joseph Cole Cinematic Vengeance series of videos.
Which was quite a while ago now, wasn't it?
It was. And I feel like we've been letting down our good friend, Peter Okpopo from Facebook. A lot of you will know him. He does all the old school Kung Fu movie groups and the new Kung Fu movie groups as well. And he's been a big champion of us for a long time. We can't believe how much he's championed us and constantly trying to get us more and more subscribers and more traffic through our channel and our Facebook group. So thank you very much, Peter. We both really appreciate you, and we'd like to dedicate this video to you because you've inspired us to keep going when we've been having some dark days and considering shutting down. So if it wasn't for people like Peter, then we probably wouldn't still be here. What we thought would be a good option for this video would be for both of us to pick a movie each and champion that particular movie. So I will go first. I have picked The Odd Couple. So we have the Hong Kong Legends DVD and we have the Eureka upgraded Blu-ray. So I'm in the corner for The Odd Couple, directed by Lau Kar-wing and starring Lau Kar-wing and Sammo Hung. And we've also got Leon Kar-yan in there as a villain.
We do.
And for you, Shaz?
I have Legendary Weapons of China. So we have the 88 release and this old DVD release, which I'm not quite sure where's it from.
It's the Hong Kong Celestial Pictures release,
there you go.
restoration. I think we have another DVD release as well in a box set.
Right.
Greedy that we are. It was just that. There's other films in the box that we needed.
Well,
So,
yeah, because this will be triple dipping.
Yes, this is a triple dip on Legendary Weapons of China, and it probably warrants it, to be fair.
Yeah, so I'm championing this film.
Okay, so it'd be interesting to hear what you guys think out there. Which one of these do you prefer? But let me present my case first for The Odd Couple. In The Odd Couple, you get some of the most dynamic weapons work that I've ever seen committed on screen. It's focused mainly on Sammo Hung and Lau Kar-wing, and they play two roles respectively. And the interesting thing is that as the old teachers in the film, they decide to meet up. I think it's every year. I'm not sure it's every year or not, but they meet up regularly and they have a duel to decide who's best. But they decide that they've got to know each other too well, so they can't fight a duel to death because they've developed a relationship along the way. So they decide to train up some pupils. And as it happens, Lau Kar-wing's pupil is Sammo Hung, and Sammo Hung's pupil is Lau Kar-wing.
You see, you use too much force, it makes it clumsy. You have to move it freely. Here, watch me. Huh? Not so much force, but not too little.
Master, I already know those moves.
So it's kind of amusing how you have them both playing younger and older roles, and each one is learning from the other. I kind of like that. I think there's a bit of a dynamic there. I think they're saying that both of these superstars of Kung Fu are learning from each other as they're doing this film. That might be me reading too much into it, but I kind of think you got cross path of styles there. You've got a little bit of Shaw style and you got Sammo's dynamic style. And I think this film showcases both blended beautifully. Some of the spear work from Sammo and the sword play, and they both swap around as well because obviously they teach their pupils their particular style. So you get to see them both with sword and spear, and it's an incredible showcase. There's some acrobatics in it, there's some hard hits in it, there's some really amusing undercranking in it, and good cameos from Dean Sheck.
Moves left and right. Only girls who live on boats can do that. I bet you anything she's an IO.
What the hell's an IO?
Every girl who lives on a boat's called IO. I've seen lots of them and all their asses are like that.
I love this film. I think it's seldom been matched. So what about you, Shaz? What are you going to say about Legendary Weapons of China?
Well, I like this one because we have Kara Hoy in there. Got to have a lady in there somewhere.
She's good.
And also, I feel that this film really shows you all of the weapons. So all 18, or possibly 19 that we counted, but maybe something was counted, shown, but wasn't meant to be part of the 18. So I like that everything was used in this film, if you're talking about the weapons. Yeah, and I quite like the story of this film. During watching Legendary Weapons of China, we jotted down the weapons when they were all displayed at the end, didn't we? So here we go. Rope dart, double tiger hook swords, double hammers, battle axe, snake halberd, guanzhou, twin broadswords, sword, single-edged sword, tassel spear, 3-section chain whip, double daggers, double crutches, monk's spade, staff, tiger fork, rattan shield, single butterfly sword, 3-section staff, and possibly bare hands. We weren't sure if that was meant to be one of the weapons or not.
No, and they use the rattan shield and the butterfly sword together, don't they?
Yes, so it could be that those two are counted as one, which would make the 18.
I'm still waiting for my monk's spade to complete my collection, as I'm proficient in all of these weapons, and I need to practice a little bit with my monk's spade. Yes. Well, okay, I'll give you that. They do list all the weapons.
And I really like that it was clear and that you then had an understanding of what they all were. Although I know at the beginning of your film,
I was just going to
they
say,
are all
but
displayed.
Yes.
But they just weren't part of the film. It was like an opening display.
They were acknowledged.
They were
It was acknowledged as the 18 Legendary Weapons of Kung Fu, or 18 Weapons of China, and they were different. There was a different list.
In the Chinese martial arts, a total of 18 different weapons are used. These are divided into 2 categories, long and short. 9 long and 9 short. The long weapons are the spear, the kick.
So, I guess there's variations on some of the weapon types. And yes, it may be a shame that they don't go through them all in The Odd Couple, but I think it gains something by focusing on the ones it does. You get to see great depth of use and creative choreography that they come up with, you know, combined with the artistry of the acrobatics involved. I don't think sometimes that you need that much variety to show that much ingenuity. And I think Sammo and Lau Kar-wing in this, I think they smash it. I really, really love what they do.
Well, equally, I really like how weapons are used and the ongoing story in Legendary Weapons of China. In that, so the basis of this story is that it's old-fashioned weapons are held in high esteem, but can they be used to fight off the new Western guns? Not necessarily the actual weapons, but as in the whole sort of kung fu thought process. Because there was a scene where there's like a display, isn't there, where there's a load of students stood up and they're all shocked with a gun, and they're sort of saying, yeah, look, our kung fu, we can survive gunshots. Unfortunately they don't, and the poor blokes drop down dead. And Gordon Liu, who's in the film as a sort of, is he like a monk?
Well, he has his head shaved, and he's part of this sorcerer's conclave, if you like.
Yeah, so he seemed quite shocked that his men hadn't survived the gunshots at the time, didn't he?
Even though he didn't volunteer to take a bullet himself.
Yeah, he didn't do it, yeah. So the story then sort of follows that then, I think, so one of the main leaders sort of steps aside, doesn't he, and goes off, because he now doesn't agree that his students are being sacrificed this way to prove a point, whereas obviously the old style kung fu belief isn't enough to survive gunshot wounds. So then the original sort of sorcery group then want to bump him off, don't they?
Yeah,
because they're like, you've gone against...
Carl the Young.
Yeah.
We don't see him going off, it's just referred to, isn't it?
Yes. So then the whole story is trying to find him, bump him off, because he's now going against the group's plan. I quite like that.
They don't know who he is. They just say, kill off anybody that can use the 18
weapons.
And the other person happens to be his brother, Lau Kar-wing, who managed to make it into both these epic weapon movies.
Yes.
That's incredible. What do you think of the choreography with all the weapons, though, in Legendary Weapons of China?
I think it's great how they're all used, and I think Kara Hui does a really good job of displaying some of them. The main fight scene at the end, though, between the two brothers is fantastic, isn't it?
It is.
And you feel, I think when we were watching, we said that they obviously, it was like a different level, because brothers, they've grown up together, they've probably trained from an early age together, so they really knew how far they could push the other one. And even though other fights you see in other films, you know, fabulous, but it felt like you were watching something really special with this particular fight, because they obviously know each other and how they move and what to expect. So I felt it maybe made that fight a tiny bit more spectacular than maybe the end fight in The Odd Couple. Yeah,
you did say about the speed of them that they were operating at and the level of trust.
Yes.
Whereas we have undercranking in the other.
And I felt this one was more serious, whereas I felt The Odd Couple was maybe a little more fun, light-hearted, quite a lot of humour in there.
I guess that's me. I liked a lot of goofiness.
Oh yeah.
But I do like a serious kung fu film too.
Shit! What's the matter? It's just blood. Get back on the floor where you belong.
And personally, it's a real hard divide for me between these two. But we're just presenting them. We're trying to bring a case for both. It's not down to us. It's down to what you guys think. Legendary Weapons of China or The Odd Couple. Now, Shaz and I really enjoyed rewatching these films and listening to the commentaries.
Yes.
Frank Zheng, he did give us an awful lot of knowledge on his commentary on Legendary Weapons of China. And it's just incredible how beloved these films have become. And it's great that they've both been restored so fantastically. Hopefully we will get more of this classic genre, more of this ilk, this caliber, because these films are so fabulous, and there's probably more gems out there to be unearthed. In fact, some have been. And Shaz and I had another question at the end of this, because we were talking about all the weapons films that we liked, weren't we?
Yes.
And both of us said, well, I've got one I like as much as these two.
If not a fraction more.
If not a fraction more. So, yeah, shocker.
Which film, you're asking? What film could be better than these two?
And for me, I'm going to pop into the equation Heroes of the East. I absolutely love that. It's in short scope box set. And Gordon Liu, he has a Japanese wife in that. And she's always saying Japanese martial arts is better. And he's like, no, Chinese martial arts is better. And she brings over all these teachers, all these masters, these different styles of Japanese martial arts, and Gordon has to learn so many different techniques and different weapons in order to confront and match them with his kung fu. And that, for me, that film's a pure delight, and I'd say for me that one edges out these two. Controversial, I know. I am a bad boy, what can I say?
Well, after we watched these two films the other day, I remembered seeing something that I felt was maybe a fraction more into some of the weapons. Because I said to you, oh, I can't remember the name of it, but what was that film we saw where there was fighting outside and there was all these weapons everywhere? And you remembered the name of it. It was, of course, Seven Grandmasters, the Joseph Coe film, which we covered and which won our sort of little... we put each film against each other in that box set, didn't we? And that was our overall winner, our favourite film. And so I would say I preferred that.
It's really grown on you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I love that film. I love the story. I loved all the characters. I think that was the first film that I saw Lee Yi-min, who I really like him. And I just really liked that scene as well, with all the weapons when they were using all the different weapons.
That was the scene with Jack Long and Koi Yuan. Yeah, because that really impressed you, didn't it?
It did, yeah. And the fact, we watched so many films, the fact that I can still remember that scene.
Yes.
It stayed with me even though I've only seen that film once.
And also, Gary covered it on his channel, Film Fan Dojo, that particular fight, didn't he? So, that scene's one of the other channels, one of the guys we love and respect, also putting focus on it. That that kind of makes you think about it a little bit more too.
Yes.
Because when we got that box set, we were both new to that. Even I was new to that, and I have seen hundreds of kung fu movies, but I hadn't seen that, and I would like to see more like that too.
Yeah.
So, do we have a winner then out of these two? I'm not sure we do, because as much as we're divided, we both like both of them.
Yes. I really enjoyed The Odd Couple as much as Legendary Weapons of China. So it is difficult, really, to say which one would be.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna submit, because you made a strong case for Legendary Weapons of China. I think because what you were saying about trying to combat the guns as well, and all that extra level that was going on between the brothers. I'm going to have to let you have this one, I think. So we're going to call call it by a gnat's whisker for Legendary Weapons of China. Did we make the right choice? Do you think so, Peter? How about the rest of you guys?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it for now then. We really enjoyed doing this video.
Yeah, had a lot of fun with watching these, didn't we?
We did. We hope you guys enjoyed too. And we'll catch you on the next one.